Hey, you there? Sorry, I had to run inside. Zephyr was on the connection. Yes, Kathy, it is the duck episode. Let me see if I can focus on them and not me. So I just wanted to, answer any questions about the ducks. Obviously, I can give a little bit of history of how we came to have ducks. Basically, it was a gift for the twins. We wanted to give them a springtime gift. And this was following a year after which we had chickens. And the chickens had been mauled to death. Like, we had a dozen chickens, and we had, a coop that somebody let us borrow that really didn't work that well. And the weasels got in and just, mauled our chickens. And we were all disappointed about that. I was away at the time. Everybody else had to deal with it while I was gone, which made matters. Hey, buddy. Food is in the oven. I've already done it. I'm doing the duck episode. You want to help me? Can you help me? Because I never remember what their names are, buddy.
Oh, that one?
All right, you get it. Point to them. Try to stand and show people. Okay.
So, that one's Godzilla. That one's Striker. That one is Mrs. Fettle. That one's Buttercup. That one's Fatsikins, and that one's Streets a lot.
So those are our duck names. The twins named all the ducks. They were initially to be, they're the twins' pets, basically. And my stipulation was that if we're going to have pets, they darn well better lay eggs. And that's, like I've said in past vlogs, that's why I don't have cats or dogs, because they don't lay eggs. I figure if you're taking care of pets now, they're obviously not the kind of pets you want to have in your lap, although some people have ducks for comfort animals, and I totally understand that because ducks are pretty cool. But these ducks, while they, are basically for creating eggs. And however, I will back up and say that they have provided us with an unending amount of entertainment, because what we do is we sit up there, and watch them out the window for 10, 15 minutes. We'll just sit and watch the ducks, and we call it our duck TV. So, yeah, they're for eggs, and they do provide us with sustenance, but they're also providing us with a little bit of entertainment. I have two types of ducks. The black ducks are called Black Swedish, and they're renowned for their mild character. So that's, the only duck that I can pick up is Godzilla, the male there in the pool. He's the only one that'll really let me even pick him up, and I think he's doing it just because he figures, man, if this big thing is going to pick someone up, it might as well be me, because I can't let him have my ladies, and the other ducks are called white layers. Will they ever provide you with ducklings? Well, Stephen Wilson, we would have to incubate the eggs, because the mothering instinct has been bred out of it. Oh, Pierre Simonson says, mild, Swedes are always mild. Gotta love the ducks. So, part of the issue with, trying to breed domesticated animals, they do lose some of their natural instincts. And one of those natural instincts that's lost is, wanting to rear your own. So odds are probably that we would not have ducklings. I'm sure the eggs are fertilized, however. Godzilla sees to that. And, we have one hen here that I think goes both ways. Do the ducks ever go through the woods to the creek? No. Do the ducks bite? Only Godzilla, and he nips. The ducks stay very close to the house. The creek is probably 100 yards through the woods that way. They get a little, I think, and rightly so, a little bit nervous when they get near the woods because of predators and all that jazz. However, we do fantasize and keep talking about, digging a pond for them, because it would be really cool for them to have, a year-round source of water. However, I've heard that ducks really do a great job at fouling a pond, so it have to be spring-fed so that it could recharge and all that stuff. Which, right out beyond there is a very wet area of my property. And if I dug down through that marine clay, I bet you I would hit water, and it's probably spring-fed. So if only I knew somebody with an excavator. Grampy Joe. Yes. So the ducks live in the barn, and if I could, I would take you up to the barn to show you all of the nasty work that they've been doing to clean out that coop up there. Did they all recover from the fox incident? Sean John Darcy asks. Yes, they did. Godzilla was the one that was sort of being taken off by the fox, and he was limping around there for a little while, but he's doing really well now. They're kind of getting savvy after you have a few attacks under your belt. You know when to run, you know when to hide, you know the signs. They're very attentive creatures. They see birds of prey way before I do. They won't bat an eyelash at a crow or a seagull flying by, but if there's any kind of raptor, hawks, eagles, osprey, they'll all stop and they'll put that eye to the sky and they'll follow it until they feel they're safe. With that swamp, is it much mosquitoes in the summer? When it's wet, Pierre, we do have a fair amount of mosquitoes here. And black flies. Do you have black flies in Sweden? There's like small, not like no-see-ums, like that small, little black flies with little see-through wings, and they, sort of bite little chunks of your skin out. We have a lot of black flies too. The cool thing about black flies is that they're indicators of a clean, flowing, fresh water. So the more black flies we have tells us the healthier that creek down there is. Of course, that's no reassurance. We called them Brahms, I guess. I see. So you do have, you do. That's a nice, nasty name for them. Oh, it's a Brahms. Oh, man. So, we do live in a fairly wet area. And I wish that we could have more of the wetness for the ducks to enjoy. And we even have a couple ponds that are sort of filled a lot of the time. But I'm just afraid of predators. We have snapping turtles. We have river otters. We've got foxes. We have weasels. We have skunks, which can be nasty. Raccoons, which can be nasty. Coyotes, which can be nasty. This is all nature, but it's still nasty for the ducks. Anyway. What is the lifespan of the ducks? I have a next door neighbor that I grew up with, and his mother still has ducks. She still has ducks alive from when I was a kid. Ducks can live to be in their 30s, believe it or not, and they continue to lay. They can lay for decades, so they're fairly long-lived birds. I'm sure it must be wicked hard as they get older to lay eggs, though, but apparently they continue to do it, years and years and years. So another good reason to have ducks, I guess. I don't know. Someday I would love to go to. I've seen these YouTube videos, of course, about when they release like hundreds of thousands of ducks into rice fields and stuff to do integrated pest management. That would be so fun to see all the ducks released and just let's see them go out in the field. I don't know. That'd be neat. Imagine those duck herders, huh? They need a lot more than Emmett and Zephyr to deal with hundreds of thousands of ducks. And what else can I say? We have thought about getting a few more ducks. You have 6. You might as well have, 8, 9, 10. And did you say earlier that they eat slugs? Yes, Kathy. They eat anything. They use their bills to get underneath there, and they get any insects. Tempted to add any farm animal, Sean John Darcy says. We have romantic visions every once in a while of sheep or goats or chickens or geese. Never really any of the larger animals like cows or horses or ponies and pigs and stuff like that. But, we fantasize. It's just the sort of thing like we really want to move our lives in the direction of more travel and adventure in our lifestyle while we are still sort of, ambulatory and have the energy and maybe the means to do it. So that's the double-edged sword with all these great animals is they tie you down, That's the thing about the farmer is that they live the farm, day in, day out, every month of the year. especially those that have animals. I did work for a farm once as an internship as part of the College of the Atlantic in New Hampshire, and they had no animals at all. And so they could take their winters off completely. And I thought that was a pretty good model. The only disadvantage to that was that they didn't have that biological loop closed, and they were very conscious of that. They had to buy fertilizer, organic fertilizers from other places, composted cow manure and all that stuff. So, I don't know. I can barely take care of 3 kids, man, and 6 ducks. I can't imagine like throwing some sheep into the mix. Holy moly, I mean, if it could be a job, when you were a farmer, which is a very romantic vision for me. I wanted to be a farmer for a long time. I was wrong about the black fly. It is called a knot in Swedish. They are small bastards. Well, I fully concur. You've definitely hit the right bug, because black flies are like the archetypical nasty Maine fly. Everybody's got mosquitoes, but man, those black flies are just... You mentioned the kids were cleaning up after the ducks today. Oh yeah, can the composted straw go right on the garden? I'm trying it. I am. I put it right down there on the blueberries. Can you see those piles? Brandon Mitchell asks, are you from Maine? Brandon, I was born and bred in Maine. I was born at Augusta General, which is the capital. It's no longer even a hospital anymore. And I grew up in a town called Pittston, which is very close to the capital of Augusta. Went to high school in Maine, went to college in Maine. I left for a few years and lived in Colorado. But for the most part, this has been home forever and ever and ever, and I am partial to it. I do like Maine a whole lot. There are other great places in the world for sure, but Maine is a wonderful spot. And for me, I'm just a country bumpkin. I love to be able to do things like this, and I can't imagine living in an urban suburban situation. I'm sure a suburban situation you could probably have ducks, but man. For me, I couldn't imagine living in a city long term. I know I could do it short term, and I've done it short term before, but geez. I thoroughly enjoy watching you. I am from Durham, Maine, and now live in Florida. Right on, Brandon. Durham, man. Yeah, Durham over there south and west of Freeport, right? Yeah, I've done some jobs in Durham. Well, right on. I currently live in Florida, so either you're a snowboard or you've just jumped the state and wish you could be back here, right? At least in the summer. Oh, man alive. So, I think the next episode at the 6 o'clock hour is going to be the episode with Milo. Or it'll be the episode with us eating dinner. I'm not sure. Andrea's gone off to pick up Milo from his day of skiing. He was skiing all day. It was 60 degrees Fahrenheit today, and he was on the slope skiing. It must have been like heaven. Oh, I can't wait to get the story from him. I hope he took some pictures. I think some of us are just Mainers for life. Yes, Beth Richmond, you're right. Go and watch the rest of your lives. Later, gonna go to sleep. See you later. All right, Pierre, thanks for tuning in today, man. I grew up in a little Maine town. What? Leroy, you grew up in Whitefield? Did you grow up in Whitefield? I didn't know that. Huh. Well, right on, man. Then we were practically neighbors. So you must have gone to Whitefield Elementary and went maybe even to the same high school Milo went to? That's wicked cool. That's wicked cool. All right, there's 17 of you out there. I'm so excited that you all have chimed in. I'd like to know before I go out who is the furthest ahead in time right now and who is the furthest back in time. Can't believe Milo is only 16. Absolute gentleman. Milo thanks you remotely, I'm sure. We've tried to train, but some of it is just his innate self. He's just a really great young adult. So, anybody, on Monday yet? Phil, are you out there? How about you, Pauline? Are you watching? Who else is Charm? Julie Miller, 22:15 now. Okay, so that is 10. Yeah, so you're later. You're on the other side of my time zone, Kathy. Pacific Standard Time, 3 hours behind me. Matthew, I think, is the furthest behind. How many more top of the hours are you doing? 10:14 p.m. in Scotland. Okay, so Scotland is the farthest. I'm going to try to go I think I'm going to have my final one be at 8 p.m. because, to be very honest with you, I want to watch public broadcasting. There's some good masterpiece theater on tonight. Oh, do we do daylight savings time? Yeah, I guess we do. I said I'm at Eastern Standard, but maybe we are on daylight savings time now, are we? Oh, I don't know. Anyway, do come back for the 6 o'clock hour, where you may be seeing us eating leftover Mexican food and or having a chat with Milo about his day and anything else you might want to know from that kid. Peace out, you guys. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'll see you at 6.